Now, I never know where to start these videos, so I always end up looking so gormless at the start. Anyway, guys, happy Saturday, sending lots and lots of love to every single one of you. How is everyone today? Oh wow, we have a lot of questions already in, and a lot of people already in the chat, so thank you so much for joining, everybody. I'm going to swizz to the top of the questions, so we can start talking through all of them. How is everyone's Saturday going? I hope everyone's having an amazing day. This week, what happened this... Oh, finally got my post-lockdown haircut, so you know what, feeling like literally like a whole weight has been lifted. So that was, I think that's the highlight of the week. I finally looked at the mattress that I want to buy, that I've been talking about for the past like month and a half, so I think we're on a roll with that, and we tried some new skincare. So all in all, I'd say a pretty good week. Here in the UK, it is so sunny outside. Straight after we've got the live stream, straight afterwards we're going to be having an update video on my upcoming skincare brand, which hopefully you'll all stick around for. And then after that, the barbecue is going to be fired up, and we're going to be having a little bit of enjoyment of the sun outside in the garden. So how's everyone's week been? Let's say, Teresa, welcome my love. I'm so glad that you were able to join this week. We have our first question. Actually, I'll get on to some hellos in a second, but Teresa is straight in there with a question, which is, can you use the Amyl C Whip by Face Theory? Love that product with copper peptides. Absolutely, you can, Teresa. I would just use the copper peptides early in the routine. The Amyl C Whip obviously comes at the end as your moisturiser, and then everything in between just keeps the two apart, and all will be well with the world. Welcome, Patty, my love. Welcome. Oh yeah, Patty says, had no idea the chats were open so early. Yeah, you guys requested that I do like a little bit of a premiere, sort of, you know, allow people to make some comments before the live starts, and it's just so good because we already have so many comments, so many people chatting. So yeah, usually about 3 hours before we actually start the live streams, we then obviously open up the chat for anyone that wants to talk. Tom is in the building, so Tom is very kindly moderating for us again this week, which honestly I'm beyond grateful. Every single week, always there to support, so thank you so much, Tom. So keeping everyone in check, but also we're posting the link to the Facebook group, so join us if you haven't already. Facebook group, as a little heads up, will be involved in the launch of the Mad About Skin skincare line, which obviously is the video that's following on from this. But let me just put it this way, it's actually worth joining the Mad About Skin Facebook group if you haven't already. Bruce, welcome. Annika, so lovely to see you. Sending lots and lots of love to Sweden, Annika. Hopefully it's as sunny as it is here in the UK. You can probably see like glimmers of that natural sun. We'll go through some hellos, and I'll go back up to the questions for the ones that I've missed. Ali, welcome, my love. MA, great to see you. Celia, how wonderful to see you, my love. I hope you're feeling a little bit better and on the mend. Great to see you. Jenny, Iraglobe, fantastic. Welcome. And we have lots of questions already to get through. I know quite a lot of you have been leaving these comments before, but I always say, if for whatever reason I miss your comments or I don't get around to answering it, you can always drop it in the comments section below, and I'll always try my best to get back to you. MA says, hi Rob, hope you're doing well. I am, my love. With the sun shining, I think everything just feels that little bit better, and I think summer is certainly on the way, certainly in the northern hemisphere anyway. So my skin is type is normal. It's quite sensitive, and I usually get bumps on my face rather than pimples. So looking for some product recommendations, I'd say if you've got sensitive skin and you have normal skin, go for a gel moisturizer. I think we're all a little bit guilty of going for a little bit too thick moisturizers, particularly in summer. If you've got normal skin, you don't need that. 2 layers of a gel moisturizer actually gives more than enough hydration. So I think sometimes pimples, texture in the skin can be just as overhydrating. You're using too thick and occlusive moisturizer. They're very much, I think moisturizers in this world are still very much designed for the dry skin in mind. For people like myself that have slightly oily skin or combination skin that want that hydration but don't necessarily want a really thick moisturizer, it's kind of a gap in the market. So I'd say focus on the moisturizer and making sure that you have one that isn't too thick. Get a gel one, and you can always put 2 layers on if you need the extra hydration. Dinara says, hey, thoughts on Vanicream moisturizing cream? The brand isn't actually available here in the UK, so I haven't tried any of their products. I don't know. I do know it's very well received. Lots of people say it's really good. I honestly don't know anything really about the brand, because Here in the UK, it's just not accessible. I did reach out when a couple of people did mention it and to see if they had any intention of launching here in the UK, and they said that they didn't. So whilst it might be sold, you know, third parties, it's very difficult to get here in the UK. Oh no, see, this is my next door neighbour decided that Saturday morning was a great time to install satellite TV. I'm not loving the drilling. There is nothing worse than that endless drilling sound, Celia. So my heart goes out. There is literally nothing worse. Turn up the live stream, deafen in with skincare chat. that'd be my recommendation. Annika says Celia was talking about. Oh no, so Annika says their neighbour's getting a huge swimming pool, so it's been vibrating all day. That is even worse though, Annika, because then you'll also have the envy of the swimming pool that you'll have to look at all the time and think, oh, I'd love to be taking a dip in that. I love a swimming pool. I don't think I'd ever use it, and I think it'd be an absolute pain to keep clean, but the idea I like. Let's have a look. So Patty says here, I had red angry bumps on my forehead this week. I put on hydrocortisone cream and Aquaphor on it overnight and it was gone. I think sometimes, you know, looking at when we do have those little bits of irritation on the skin, something like a light hydrocortisone cream and then just putting a thick moisturiser on afterwards can really, really help. And I know I've never tried it, but a lot of people do recommend the Aquaphor as well. We have so many people in the chat. I'm going to do a few more hellos. Let's have a look. Christina sending lots and lots of love. We've got quite a few new faces in the chat as well, which I love to see. If you're here for the first time, sending a big Mad About Skin welcome to you. If you're one of our regular viewers, then obviously you know the drill, and we absolutely love having you here on a Saturday. We do these live every Saturday, 6 p.m. UK time, which is 1 p.m. on the east coast of the US. I said I would try and remember a new time zone every single week, but I failed because I used that one last week. But never mind. Irreglover says, hi everyone, happy to read you again. Rob, couldn't resist and bought the Face Theories Tamanu oil and rosehip oil. My skin is so much happier. I am so glad you decided to. I'd love to know what your thoughts on the smell of the Tamanu oil is. I love the smell. I think it smells divine, but lots of people are like, oh, that's the one thing they don't like about Tamanu oil is the smell. So I think it's quite polarizing. So I'd love to know, do you like the scent or do you not? Now, I have left the door open today because I thought we might be visited by a cat, and Marcel was around here somewhere. So we might get a cat visit, because I know a lot of you guys have been asking for updates on animals. So I left the door open deliberately so cats can come and go as they please. So I think we might get a Marcel visit, but I'm not sure exactly where he is right now. Let's have a look. So we're having a little bit of a conversation here and a bit of a chat. Tom has bought himself one of those LED super bougie but claims to do everything masks, and I've been trying one at the same time, so I'd be really interested to see how it works out. So but not actually arriving until later on this month, so expect an update. I do definitely expect an update on the LED mask, because I've been trying mine for 3 or 4 weeks now, and I'm seeing some really great results, but I switched my retinol round at the same time, and so I don't know whether the results from my acne is because of the retinol or because of the LED mask, and so I'm kicking myself for actually starting 2 new things at once, because I don't think I'll be able to get to the bottom of whether the LED mask is what's causing the difference. So I'm relying on Tom to definitely give me some updates on that, and also Annika, who I also know has gone a little bit LED mask mad, so I'm expecting good updates for both. Emma, welcome, my love. Elizabeth, sending lots and lots of love all the way to Oz, and sending a happy morning to you. It might be this evening here in the UK, but I know it's bright and early with you guys. Alex, welcome. And looking for more multi-purpose skincare videos. I am happy, Alex, to do more multi-purpose skincare. I haven't until recently because I've been very much a single active ingredient kind of person, but I've been so much more involved in some of the with some of the brands that do offer multi-purpose skincare, so definitely you can expect that in the coming months, as I'm trying to experiment with some new multi-purpose skincare. In fact, shameless plug for my own skincare line, which we're featuring in a video after this, has that multi-purpose aspect, and I never thought I'd say that. When I was kind of thinking about it a couple of years ago, I never thought we'd go down the multi-purpose route, but I just think, you know, it cuts out a few steps for people, it streamlines everything. I definitely think there's a market. At the moment, just as a side note for a little bit of skincare stuff, what I've been using the past couple of days when it's been super hot here in the UK is this. This is the V Green Daily Moisture Cream. Now, if you remember my love of the V Green snail-free mucin essence toner and serum, love both of those. This is the same brand, and it's just just really, really good. You only need a tiny amount, and it's super, super hydrating. And also it looks quite nice. It's kind of like in a medical tube, and I like the packaging. And yeah, it's been working so, so well for my skin. I am super oily at the moment. And I think this like daily moisture cream is light enough that it does what it needs to do, but it's not too thick. So when I was talking about finding the right moisturizer for you earlier, this is a really great option. It's cruelty free. It's Korean. I thought it was Korean, and it's got 7 ingredients in. So there's very little to irritate the skin. Obviously you only need one ingredient to have a reaction, but you know, in here you've got some fatty alcohols that are going to hydrate the skin, which I love. You've got glycerin and squalene, which is going to be hydrating, but all of it just quite nice. It's just a really nice product that I definitely recommend. Now I know my cat Marcel's around because I've got an itchy nose because there's a cat hair. So Ali says, what's your opinion about using moisturizer with SPF if it's your only, what's this? Let me just read that again. What's your opinion about using a moisturizer with SPF? Right, okay. I have no issue with that. I say to people, use what is right for you. If you're not wearing a moisturizer, if you're not using an SPF and you think the way to use an SPF is have it already in your moisturizer, go for it. Because you know what? Wearing an SPF is so much better than not wearing any. And I think we get a little bit fixated on the right one, the perfect one. You know, everyone has to have the strongest and all of this. Using an SPF is so much better than not using one. So if you're the sort of person that doesn't want to put a separate SPF on or hasn't found one that works for you, then I think having it in a moisturizer is great. I feel you don't get quite the same level of protection, and some tests have shown that some of the ones that are held in moisturizers don't give quite the same because we don't spread them as liberally. We obviously don't reapply them. I think subconsciously we don't think of them as sunscreen, so we don't maybe treat them with the same respect we would a sunscreen. So you need to bear that in mind. However, I think, you know what, if you find one that works for you, go for it, and it's so much better than not wearing an SPF. So that's my 2 pence on that. Marlene, welcome, my love. Whenever I read the Christmas glow, which is in your tag, it just reminds me of Christmas. I love all things Christmas, and you can expect to see my Christmas decorations up in this room from about November. Jenny, I know I said welcome to you earlier, Jenny, but I'm sending you another big happy Saturday all the way to you and the family. DM13, welcome, my love. It is so good to see you, and I'm so glad that you could join. Jill, amazing to see you. Thanks for joining. We have DM13 says, rushing back home from the beach, read you in a bit. Jealous. I do actually live next to a beach, so I shouldn't be too jealous. But I do love a good beach trip. And today I actually was so sunny, I upped from my usual, like, just throw an SPF on. I actually reapplied, which you should always do. But when it's really dark here in the UK, I kind of forget. But today it's been so sunny, I've reapplied a couple of times because the sun is on fire today. Franz, welcome, my love. Our sun bum, so another comment, our sun bum sunscreens any good? I haven't tried any of them, but I've heard good things about them. I've tried to look up some of the testing. They released some of their testing, but not all of it. So I think that's better than some brands do, but they're not fully transparent yet. I haven't tried them, so I can't comment on the sunscreen specifically, but I know a lot of people have, and they seem to really like them. So I think in terms of how they apply, it's a good product. In terms of protection, I have never heard anyone say they've got issues with it, but I can't personally recommend them because I haven't actually seen them myself. Sarah, welcome. So great to see you. As it is you, Rebecca, welcome. Tanya, thank you so much for joining. Let's see what I say. So, William, great to see you. Noah, oh my god, it is so busy. I love how every week these lives just get busier and busier, which is so wonderful. And we're already up to 60 likes. I have my tea on the go, which, bearing in mind how hot it is and I'm in a jumper, I think might be a really bad mistake. But I'm going to sip it and go with it anyway. Today's tea is Whittards of Chelsea, which I don't think even operate now. I think they've gone bust. But some of their tea is actually quite good. So I'm going to have a sip of this. If you haven't already, if you could smash that like button, I would love you all forever. That is actually a really good tea. Diana, welcome. My week is going so well. I hope yours is too. It's just flown by. I was thinking like, oh, it's Monday, and it's just flown by, and suddenly we're at Saturday, the weekend's here. It's all no complaints. I love the weekend, so it's all good. So Jay says, hi, would you say the Juno and Co cleansing balm is good for oily, acne prone skin? Well, I use it on my oily, acne prone skin and I never have any issues. I will caveat it with it. I think you need to follow it with a gel cleanser. So I think as a double cleanse, yes. I think as a standalone cleanse, it leaves a little film on the skin, which is fine if you have dry skin. But I think for us oily, acne prone people, probably better to get another gel cleanser to take it off, but I think it gets off makeup like that, which is really great, and I think it's just a really nice product. So yeah, I'd say definitely fine for oily, acne prone skin. Just make sure you follow it up with a gel moisturizer afterward, gel cleanser afterwards. Chloe says, hi, is Finicea more potent than Skinneren because it's a gel? Now, so Chloe, a lot of people do say, I am actually genuinely glad you brought this up, because lots of people do say that gel, cream, doesn't really matter, providing it's the strength that matters, so it's the 20% that matters. This is normally the case. When you're looking at things, the percentage matters. The actual formulation does impact it, but it's not like crucial. When it comes to Finicea, is in a gel, Skinneren, which is the one that I'm using actually. Got it here, as if like we primed this. This is my Skinneren. That azelaic acid is in a cream. I was told by my dermatologist that the cream is actually more potent because it gets through the lipid barrier in the skin, so it actually does a little bit more than a gel would. I haven't checked that up, I haven't had that validated by second opinions, but that was what my dermatologist said, and so she prescribed the Skinneren. I do find here in the UK, we tend to go for Skinneren, and in the US, they tend to go for Finicea. I think it's just brand loyalty, I don't know. But I was told that the Skinneren was technically more potent than the Finicea. So, but again, I haven't actually read any studies on that. Christy, welcome, my love. Thank you so much for joining. Miss Glamour, I love that YouTube handle, and welcome. I know you first time in a live. Welcome, my love. Jenny says, loving the hair. Thank you very much. This is my new lockdown do. I honestly, when I got out of the barbers, I had it done, got out of the barbers, I felt a chill. I was like, oh my God, how much hair did I actually have on me that I felt cold when I left the barbers? But no regrets. It just feels good to kind of, it feels like back to a bit of normality. Let's have a look and see. Alana says, happy Saturday, Rob, enjoying a cup of Earl Grey. Say hi to your kitties for me. I should have gone Earl Grey, I think, because sometimes when it's super hot like it is here, Earl Grey, left to go cold, a couple of ice cubes, great iced tea. I usually put sugar in there as well. Makes a great iced tea. Marcel is actually here. He's so quiet. I will, by the end, you'll have to stay to the end of the live, but before we move over to the next video, I will drag Marcel off his little perch. He's got a little teddy, like dog teddy cuddly toy, and he likes to sleep on it. So if you could see this is heart meltingly cute. So I won't disturb him now, but before the end I will pick him up and, you know, show Marcel off to the world, because he is on fire at the moment. Aren't you, Marcel? Yeah, no, he's asleep. He's definitely asleep. Tim13 says you're looking amazing. Thank you so much, hon. I've seen so many people with rocking their new haircuts here in the UK. You can definitely tell lockdown's over, because everybody actually looks like they've, you know, taken a brush to their hair for the first time in months. Faru says, I can't wait for your skincare brand. Thank you so much, hon. Honestly, I go overboard with this in the video because I genuinely can't say thanks enough to all of you guys. In the video that comes next, we're going to be talking about the launch, how you can get in on it early, some of the next things that come in the next steps. The only thing I can't share with you in that video is the actual like sample, the actual product itself, because there's a couple more steps and like tweaks that needs to be done. I'm a perfectionist, and I know you can all read me to filth for being a perfectionist, but when there's a few things that just need tweaking before I show you, because I kind of want to show you the perfect product. So there's going to be a post on Facebook or Instagram or something where I can like show them on the countertop, show them off proudly. So that'll be in about a week, but until then we kind of cover everything else and some of the questions that you guys have been asking. So that's after this video. Jack, welcome, my love. I'm so glad you could join. Diana, oh, more lockdown restrictions in Canada. Do you know, I will say that, I'll say that here, you know, I think all of it goes down round in circles. You know, no, we're not all equal across the world. Like, we were really bad in terms of restrictions here in January, where a lot of the rest of the world were living their best life and it was all great. And then sometimes it reverses and stuff. So whilst, you know, I've got my new haircut and I feel like, you know, positive about it and everything, I do appreciate the rest. There's a lot of people in the rest of the world for which things aren't going in the right direction, and I know Canada's one of them, so my heart goes out and I'm sending lots and lots of love. And one of the reasons why I love, more than anything, doing these lives on a Saturday is because wherever you are in the world, whatever the situation going on, whether you're going in the right direction, wrong direction, we can just sit down, chill, talk skincare, fangirl for a little bit, and kind of it's that family for when a lot of us haven't actually been able to see our family that much. So, you know, it means the world to me. And this is one of the main reasons why I started doing these lives, and then it just became like my favourite part of the week. So they're staying, even after all of this, and there will be an end in sight. After all this, the lives are staying. Chloe says, once acne is gone from using Skinner, would you suggest going back to Finicea in the long term? To be honest, Chloe, I would say discuss it with your prescriber. But for me, I think if something works, even if you don't like the texture, keep using it. I know that might be a bit controversial, but to me, I think if it's worked and it's cured your acne, I'd be a bit reluctant to move to another one. That's just personal choice, but I think if something works for you, especially with acne, which is so difficult to treat, I would say keep on using it. Courtney says, hi Rob, when were you using the face theory azelaic acid? Did you find it effective? I did. I loved it. The only reason I moved to this, which is 20%, so this is 5% more, is because I went to a dermatologist and she said, give it a go, see if it works. I've noticed zero difference between the face theory one and the Skinner one. So that extra 5% gives some extra irritation, but for no extra benefit. And I miss all the nice additions that you get in the face theory one, like the oat, the calming, the aloe. So I much prefer the face theory, and I'd probably say it is effective. You just have to give it maybe 2 months. I think give it a little bit of time to work in, but you should see the results. Lee, welcome, my love. Hope you can answer this now. What are the good career? Now, this is, so Lee, I know you asked this, and I've been looking all week. So the reason I don't feel able to recommend a Korean serum, a good Korean serum with niacinamide that's under $20, is because none of the, in Korea, they don't disclose the percentages of the active ingredients. Now, I know that not all companies do here in the West, but when it comes to niacinamide, I think it's really important to choose the right percentage and concentration for your skin. Like 10% is way too much, especially for someone like yourself that says you're on the drier side. I think 10% is too much. And so I don't know in a lot of these products whether they've got 10% in, whether they've got 5% in, 3%. You don't get that with Korea, which is why I was really struggling to be able to recommend a good Korean serum that actually has niacinamide, because I'd say for you, if you're on the drier side, I would recommend going for something that's got a 5% niacinamide in. Now, I could tell you that they do one at Revolution Skincare that's 5%. I would totally recommend. That's not a Korean brand, though. Korean brands just don't put their percentages on any of their products, and so it can be really difficult to make a proper recommendation for something specific like that. The price point isn't an issue. You'll find under $20 ones, but you know, you're not going to actually be able to find one that matches exactly what you need. And that's not a cop-out answer. It's just, I think with niacinamide, we overdo it. And for someone that has dry skin, I just feel you'd be better suited to going for a lower strength niacinamide. And you're not going to get that from Korea, I don't feel. Unless some of the brands, you can contact some of the brands, they might be open with you about the percentages, but in my experience, they're not. So very sorry about that. Now, I am going to shut this curtain, because I'm getting literally so much sun here. If you could smash that like button, I'd love you forever. We'll do a swap round. We've closed one curtain, opened another, which I kind of think has worked in my favour. Hopefully. Let's see if the lighting actually works. Yeah, I think that's better. One sec. I'm just going to put a lamp on as well. Oh, it's all go here. Where's that? No. There, we have to go for artificial light because I was burning up. It was that warm. But I did wake Marcel up. So bear with. I'll give you a flash of the cat. Oh. So there you go. For those of you that are asking, this is Marcel. Quite a lot of you that have been with the channel for a while will know our Marcel. He's like the ultimate cuddle cat and my absolute favourite. Aren't you, Maddie? He's got the best heart in the whole world. I'm with you. He doesn't make many appearances, so you actually, you know, this is an honour, isn't it, Marcel? You'll be asking for your commission from any sales, yeah. But he's such a sweetheart, and he has like a chest thing that he's always had, and so he has a little snort. So he doesn't really purr, he just snorts, don't you? Now, you're going to come down and you're going to sit on my knee. I think he's going to sit on my knee. So that'll be cat hair for the rest of the video. So William says, can copper peptides be used with L-ascorbic acid if you wait a few minutes and buffer with a hydrating mist? Yes. In fact, William, that is the perfect thing to do. Wait a little time, buffer with a mist, put on your L-ascorbic acid, you will be good to go. Marlene says, please press that glowing like button. Absolutely. And this is proven. I think Madeline proved this last week, that if you press the like button, you're guaranteed to get a glow. So what are you waiting for, is what I'd say. Jill says, hair looking great, Rob. Thank you so much, my love. Georgiana, welcome. Valian, welcome, my love. Says, enjoy the barbecue. We've just had one. Thank you so much, hon. We are very much excited about this. We've got a lot of one of my friends is coming over who is vegetarian, which is nice because we're going to be trying some different things. So I think you can kind of always end up doing the same barbecue stuff, so it's quite nice to kind of experiment with some like slightly veggie stuff. So I've done the basic like vegetable, like veggie kebabs, but we've also got some other things, and she sent some recipes, and she said she's going to bring some stuff over as well, so hopefully be able to mix it up a bit. Kat says, hello from Seattle, doing my morning routine. Kat, I am sending you lots and lots of love, my love. Fru says, I'm enjoying those lives, happy to be here again. And we're happy to have you, my love. Ian, welcome. Sending lots and lots of lots of love to London, should I say. So can you overdo peptides? I use the buffet followed by the timeless Q10, both contain Matrixyl. I personally don't think you can overdo peptides. You know, in terms of how they work, I think they work really well on most skin types. I think there's an element that you can stop getting benefit from adding extra ones in. So it might be, you could argue that it's extra steps, but I don't think you can overdo them, so no, I think you're absolutely fine. Noah says, hi Rob, could you tell us a bit more about the Face Theory Exaglow Serum? Can it be used in the morning? Yeah, so mine arrived a couple of days ago and I'm loving it. So tranexamic acid is the main ingredient in there, which makes it quite revolutionary because it's actually quite difficult to find tranexamic acid in skincare products, so it's really nice to have like an easy to access product with tranexamic acid in there. It's also blended with other botanicals and other active ingredients that are going to help increase brightness in the skin. It's got a slightly low pH, it's not like an acid or anything like that, but it's got a lower pH than some other products. So what I would usually recommend is the morning is perfect. I would cleanse, I would then use your Exaglow serum, put on any like niacinamides, hyaluronic acid, whatever you want to put on, and then put your peptides on after. That's the only thing I'd be a little bit cautious with, but you can use it every single morning. That's what I plan on doing with mine, and it's absolutely fantastic. If you have super sensitive skin, I would recommend you slowly introduce it, but I'd probably say that about any single product. So if you've got super sensitive skin, just be a bit gentle into, maybe twice a week, 3 times a week, build up from there. For everyone else, it's beautiful every single morning and you will glow to the gods. Leah, welcome. Thank you so much for joining, my love. Jan says, hello from Bangkok. Hello, my love. Sending lots and lots of love to Thailand. Brian says, good morning from sunny Seattle. In my morning routine, I use the RNW niacinamide and the Claire's watery oil drop. Should one go before the other? Actually, either or. I would probably use the niacinamide first, then the Claire's afterwards, but that's just personal preference. I don't think it really matters in terms of this texture of which order that you use them in. I would probably just do it in that order, but I don't think it's going to make much difference either way. But really good question, and sending lots of love to Seattle. MA says, sorry, I sort of spammed my question in the chat. That's fine, my love. It's fine. Tom keeps everyone in check. We all hit that button a few times or whatever. It's all good. Repeat questions, Tom will be on to you. But for a little spam, it doesn't matter if it's an accident, my love. Thank you so much for answering. It's absolutely fine, my love. Thank you so much for joining. I'm covered in cat hair. Thank you, Marcel, who's now sat here shedding to his heart's content, aren't you? Yes. Yeah, so I think it's going to be quite a hairy live at this rate. Fran says, hi Rob, looking gorgeous. Thanks, Fran. And also, darling, you were looking stunning. In that selfie that you shared on your on Facebook, skin looking gorgeous. What's my favourite, l'eau de toilette or parfum? Oh, you sound bougie and you always sound posh if you refer to it as l'eau de toilette. My favourite, I am loving the Face Theory. Well, I got one. I know I shouldn't. It was Easter and I thought I'm going to treat myself. I've been allergic to milk for like forever, so I can never have Easter eggs. So my theory was, if I can't get Easter eggs and have a load of chocolate, then actually what I should do is treat myself to something that like an Easter treat. And so when I was ordering some stuff from Face Theory, I thought I'll put on the original scent from Face Theory, and I've been spritzing that all over. It is gorgeous. It goes on slightly orangey and citrusy, but it kind of just melts. But it's really embarrassing because you spend a lot of the time literally smelling yourself all day. Have a look. Oh, sorry. I think the connection went there. Let's just see if I can bring that back. Yeah, I think I think that's better. I think the connection went. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I think the internet. I thought I'd sorted it this week, but you know what? Who knows? But we are back. Yeah. So I'd say definitely the Face Theory original. I haven't tried any of their other ones, and I also tried the Aesop. I ordered the Aesop scent, which is just stupidly expensive. It's like £70, and I so didn't need it in my life, but it smells so good. And I find a little goes a long way. So a lot of them just last for all day, which is really nice. In terms of non-skincare brand fragrances, I didn't ever used to really use them because I liked a lot of scent in my skincare routine. I tended to stay away from fragrance like all around me. But I would definitely be experimenting with them. I kind of got hooked, and I blame Face Theory for that. Jackson says, really thinking about getting into an exfoliant. I have dry skin, but I'm not sure if I should use a toner, a serum, glycolic, lactic. For dry skin, that's a really good question. It's really good when you're getting into exfoliation that you kind of choose the right one for your skin type. So I definitely recommend lactic acid because that's hydrating as well as exfoliating. And I think something as a serum is easier to apply. Put it on maybe twice a week. You'll get great results, and you just build up from there. But I think when you've got dry skin, lactic is always going to be your friend, and just start slowly and build up. Julie, welcome, my love, welcome. William says, does Cosrx Snail Essence the face escargot? You see, now that's bougie. They should have branded it as that, and they would have been able to up the price a bit. Have any conflicts? I think most snail essence, snail mucin alternatives, it's pretty much you can use it anywhere. It's basically like a hyaluronic acid, but a little bit more an advanced one. And so there's not many things that I wouldn't use it with. Obviously, don't use it if you're vegan because it's not vegan compatible. But with the exception of that, I think you're absolutely fine, my love. Snow Lion, love that name, and sending lots of love to Canada. We have a good Canadian contingent in the house, so you are not on your own by any stretch. I'm gonna have a quick sip of this tea is really good. So if you haven't already, if you could click that like button, and the Facebook group, Tom's been linking the Facebook group as we go along, so if you haven't joined, feel free join us over there because the conversation over there is literally week long. You don't have to wait for these lives once a week. The skincare conversation continues at pace over there. It's so good. Hi, let's have a look. Julanie says, hi, why was Leah able to tell you the SPF rating but not the general public? Oh, this comes back to the Crave, Beat Shield, not being the right SPF and all of that. So I'm not going to speak for Leah, and I'm not one that's going to speak for anybody. I had a conversation with her. I fully understand why companies don't always want to disclose the exact SPF, particularly if it's below what they were advertising, because it opens yourself up to legal ramifications. People make their own make their own opinions on that. I still personally would release it. I just think, you might as well be fully transparent and open when you're given the chance. She didn't actually tell me on the call. I'm quite happy to clear this little bit of mystery up. She didn't actually tell me on the call. This is categorically what the SPF is, because of course with SPF testing you get a range of results, particularly if you go to different testing laboratories. She shared with me a range of results which came out from that, and all of them were well in excess of what I would consider fine for me to use. I would always say you have to have full confidence in your SPF, and so if you're not happy, I would opt for the refund and then invest in one that is tried and tested. For me, I just would be happy to continue to use it, but I understand that that's not going to be the same case for people that don't know the range of SPFs. But I can tell you now, we were talking well in excess of SPF 50. I did make a promise on that call that I wouldn't divulge that, and so the professional thing for me to do is not to. There's no scandal, there's no drama, there's nothing around that. That's just my sharing my experience. I'm not going to go back on a promise that I made to not divulge the exact range, but I can quite happily say it was well in excess of SPF 30, and I personally, if they were the test results which I had been presented with, I would have personally shared them, because I think there's a huge difference to being a few SPF below what something is claimed to being an SPF of 19, which was what the issue with Purito was. So that's my thoughts. But, people can read into that whatever they want. I still think the right thing to do is just to be open. You might as well air your dirty laundry and come out with it all in one go. But, I'm not in charge of a brand, and so that would be just my take on it. Alex says, can you do... Oh, we've had that question. Mary says, hello from Greece. Can someone combine vitamin C, retinoids, alpha-arbutin, azelaic acid, tranexamic acid, and how? You can. I would always say be careful having too many actives in one skincare routine because you can sensitize the skin. But if you want to combine multiple actives in one routine, then I would probably suggest the best way to do it would be to do some on one day, some on another day. And that way you're kind of not having that hit of it all in one go, if that makes sense. But you can absolutely use vitamin C, retinoids, alpha-arbutin, azelaic acid, and tranexamic acid all in the same routine. It would just have a lot of steps and could sensitize the skin. So I'd just maybe swap in, like do the tranexamic acid one day, the azelaic acid the next. Kind of do it that way. Brian says, I love the smell of tamarind oil. It smells like maple syrup. This is what I get. So when people say they don't like the scent, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but I get maple syrup as well. BB Sahil, welcome, my love. I will start my Face Theory serums now and Excoglow this weekend. Well, I really, really would love to know what you think of them, hon, because I love them, but I always think, you know, it doesn't always, the same things don't always work for everyone. So I'd love anyone's feedback on that. Anyway, so yay, Kitty's visit. I know I'm quite behind with the comments. I'll keep going. I always do them in order, but hopefully we might have Leo, who's my other cat. He's beautiful. I know Marcel's like gorgeous, but Leo's beautiful. He's a Singaporer, so anyone from Singapore, sending lots of love. Hopefully he might make a visit, but I think he's chilling downstairs. Marlene says we want to see the chickens. Okay, well, I filmed a gorgeous video of the chickens pecking at their favourite tree. They jump up and peck at their favourite tree. So I'll post that on the Facebook group after this. If people want chickens, they can have it. I saw people sharing pictures on the group of their animals. I'm happy to throw in a good video. It's a video of the chickens. It's like 10 seconds long. I'm happy to share that with the world. So head over to the Facebook group after the premiere, after this one, and I will share chicken videos to the heart's content. Patty says, Rob, your hair is gorgeous. Thank you so much, Mal. I feel like a different man. Tough London says, if you use any sunscreen every day, do you need to also use a moisturizer, or can the sunscreen replace it? I find, if like me, you are a total grease slick, it's better to use your SPF as your moisturizer and not have a separate one. I think part of the success of a sunscreen is finding one that matches your skin type. So a really hydrating one if you have dry skin, a real mattifying one if you have oily skin, and then you shouldn't really need to have a moisturizer separate to that. It's personal choice and people might want to add it in, but I don't think you need to. It should be by exception if you feel your skin needs the extra hydration. Let's have a look. Ellen, welcome, my love. Sending lots of love to Sweden. Michelle says, what do you think of the baby oil to remove your makeup? My aunt uses it a lot. Well, in theory, baby oil is just like doing an oil cleanse. So not all oils are created equal, though. So I would definitely say if you have oily, breakout prone skin, your skin's prone to clogging, I wouldn't go anywhere near it with baby oil, personally. If you have very dry skin, fine. It's got fragrance. Has it? Yeah, it's got fragrance components in, which can be a little bit problematic. I don't think you'll get a robust cleanse from baby oil, but equally, I don't think it's going to damage your skin either. So I think it's personal. I think it's personal preference. Oh, we have Marcel here. You might see a tail. There we go. Yeah, I think he's going to be here for the duration, spreading his hair everywhere, aren't you, Marcel? Let's have a look and see. Now, I did lose my paste in the comments, so if I did miss your comment accidentally, pop it down again. I will happily get back to you. Irreglobi says, what is the texture of the Skinneren? Is it more occlusive? Yes. So the Skinneren is the cream azelaic acid. It is way more occlusive. So it's more of a... it's got glycerin in, so it feels like much more of a moisturizer than the Finacea, which is much more of a gel. I would say the Skinneren is really good if you find your azelaic acid dries you out. This would be a really good option. William says it's 1:30 p.m. here in the States and it's summer. I hope you may change the time for a few more hours early. I am thinking of mixing up the times on the live stream because we've always done 6 o'clock, and that's very selfish because it's just the best time for me. But I'm quite happy to mix it up a little bit. So if anyone, if anyone has some suggestions, just tweaking the times of these lives, I would be quite happy to do that. Didn't know to watch while I play Sims. Rob had the answer. Well, I'm happy. I hope you're enjoying your Sims game. I haven't played Sims in years, so I hope it's going well. And thank you so much for tuning in. Ali says, hi Rob, question. That could be maybe be a video. I've been alternating retinol with the Paula's Choice BHA. My skin is very resistant. How can I layer other ingredients for maximum efficacy? I honestly think retinol has this misconception of being really incompatible with other ingredients. Retinol goes with everything. You just got to be really careful when you're introducing it that you don't introduce too many new things at once, because retinol is quite sensitizing to the skin. But once your skin's got used to your retinol, you can use things like exfoliators, gentle exfoliators in the same routine, azelaic acids, tranexamic acid. All these things can be used alongside retinol. I just wouldn't use them at first. So let your skin get used to the retinol, then add anything in that you want. But that is a great idea for a video, and I will be quite happy to film that. I think that'd be really useful for a lot of people. I cannot believe that we've peaked at 160 people in one time in the chat, which is coming close to our new record. So thank you so much, guys, for all of your love today. I'm going to take a sip of my tea before my voice goes. So if you haven't already, now's your chance. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button. Gently caress. We don't hit or anything on this channel. Gently caress the like button and join the Facebook group, because you're going to miss out on chicken videos if you don't join the Facebook group. And you know, who wants to miss out on that? Let me just have a quick sip of my tea. Honestly, that's so good. This cup isn't big enough. So, Johnson says the Purito Buffet Serum is 5% niacinamide. Oh, so this goes back to Leah's question. This is really good then. So if we know that the Purito Buffet Serum is 5% niacinamide, I didn't know that, then that's the one that I would recommend, because that is not only hydrating for your dry skin layer, but also it is the 5% niacinamide. I think it'd just be perfect. Thank you so much everyone that's putting the comments for the 5% niacinamides. I'm actually going to film a video in the coming in the coming weeks about low strength niacinamides, because I think the secret to success with niacinamide is low strength and not going in for that 10% that all brands seem to try and sell us. So thanks for your recommendations. Farouz says they're sting. Oh, that's related to that comment, so that's fine. Yen, welcome, my love. Saying that I use both Finacea and Skinneren. Much prefer the Finacea gel. So I would say when it comes to azelaic acid, these are prescription strength azelaic acids, the 20% category. I think Finacea has a better texture. It's gel-like, it sinks in, it's just easier on the skin. But I think the Skinneren, with its thicker, works better for dry skin types and is more effective. So I kind of think you have to weigh the two up. But to me, neither of them are as good as the 15% face theory one, so I would personally go for that. Reve says, I've had a tough couple of weeks. This live stream has been a nice way to unwind on a Saturday evening during the times. Reve, I know so many people out there are having a difficult time at the moment, and you know what? People think that skincare is trivial. I hear so many people say, it's just skincare, like, really? Yeah, but you know, it's more than that, it's self-care. And I think in times when everything seems a little bit endless and a little bit, it's not the best time for a lot of people, taking care of ourselves, fangirling over something that's non-controversial. There's no politics in skincare, well, unless you get the anti-fragrance crowd on board. And then who knows? But you know what? Generally, there's no politics in skincare. We can just enjoy it for what it is. And, I hope that these live chats are just that. I love it. The cats have joined me. Leo's walking in the room now. You might get a glimpse of the most glamorous cat you will ever see in your life. We are a dog and some chickens away from perfection this end. Let's have a look. Nicole says, hello from Canada. Hello, my love. Sending lots and lots of love. Ellen says, hello, Marcel. Marcel, I think you're going to get a lot of love and support right now. The problem is, he's beautiful. He knows it. He's got an attitude to match. So all of you guys fangirling over him is just going to make it worse, isn't it, Marcel? Yes. He's getting a lot of love. He's a very handsome cat. He's very sweet. Fran says, many Korean serums actually have 2 to 5% niacinamide in there. I love the fact that we can find this out. So I am open. I am not, perfect. I did my best to find percentages, but I weren't able to find any. So any that you want to share, I would love your recommendations for low strength niacinamides from Korea, because I want to include them in an upcoming video and I can share it with you guys anyway. International Language of Dance, welcome, I love it. Marcel is perfect. Did you like that purr? That was pretty good. I'm taking that. I think that was pretty good. He is very cute, aren't you, Marcel? He's like, I was never a cat person. I was bullied into getting Marcel. I was never a cat person, and then apparently cats pick their favourite person and they kind of latch onto them. Marcel decided to pick me as his favourite person, and he never leaves me alone, and he might be it's best buddy territory, to be honest. I just think he's amazing, and he's such a jerk as well, and yeah, he gets a free pass from me for everything because he's so cute, but he's a total jerk. So ADY says, how do I use niacinamide and azelaic acid together when using tretinoin? Perfectly. You can use niacinamide followed by azelaic acid followed by tretinoin. They're actually really good to use in the same skincare routine because you'll find the azelaic acid will calm some of the side effects of the tret. If you're new to all of this, I I would start with the azelaic acid and niacinamide a month before you introduce the tret, because that will just dial back some of the sensitivity you could get from the tretinoin. Yen says beautifully groomed too. Marcel is, he relies on the humans to do the grooming. I don't think Marcel is, I think it's beneath him to actually groom himself. He relies on us to keep him in tip-top condition. But he has a genetic abnormality, this is what the vet said, where instead of having 2 coats, apparently cats have 2 coats, he actually has 2.5. He's got like a semi-coat between, which means he is the softest cat in the world. And he sits on your shoulder, like cradles you around here. So in the winter months, you know, I'm not a big fan of fur, you know, let's put that out there. However, wearing a fur collar is the best thing in the world, especially when the animal is still alive and living and kicking. He wears it around my neck and it's like my own fur stole from Marcel, though he does sometimes wash your face, which isn't great. So you got to keep your eye out for that. Jenny says he's a heart stealer. He is. I know everyone loves a cat. I should do more cats sneaking into videos. I promise in the full launch video of my skincare brand, Marcel is going to feature, because one of the products, this is hot off the press, one of the products is actually named after our Marcel. So I'm not telling you what, you'll have to wait for the surprise, but it is actually named after Marcel. And I think, you know, he's got the best fur going, so if all our skin looked as gorgeous as his fur, we'd be living our best lives. International Language Dan says, my cat kind of has a snort thing too. He always squeaks when he reads. Mine does that. And to be honest, it's Marcel's fault, because we had a fern that he used to like to shred and eat, and then it got stuck in the back of his throat. £1,500 worth of vet bills later, thanks Marcel. It was removed but left some like scar tissue in the back, so it's his own fault, but it now means in the house we can't have any living plants at all, because the shredder will go after them, and for his health and for my bank balance we can't have any more of that. Diego says oxynoxate, is it good or bad? It is this, so for those of you who don't know, it's a chemical filter used in sunscreens. It's good in terms of providing sun protection. The jury's out as to whether it's the best sunscreen in terms of how it can interact with our body. I always say just the risks associated with not wearing sunscreen are far greater than the risks that you could get from certain chemical UV filters. If you're unsure, switch to a mineral one would be my preference. I'm fangirling over the Make Prem UV Defense Me fluid. So good. Korean brand, gorgeous mineral sunscreen. I love that at the moment. If you're unsure, go for a mineral, but don't get so het up. I would just say don't get so het up on chemical sunscreens that you stop using them. Just switch to a mineral instead. Nasty says, what are your thoughts on the Inculis Q10? Love it. I wake up at 3 a.m. to watch you. All the love from Australia. Thank you so much, Natalie. That is so kind of you. And I'm sending so much love to all of you Aussie viewers out there. I am honestly so blessed to have people that are willing to wake up that early in the morning to watch me. And I love the Inculis Q10. It's one of my favourite antioxidants. If you're looking for a super affordable antioxidant, there is no better one. Reach for it, you'll love it. Now, we have half an hour left of the live, so keep those comments coming, because I'm going to keep going through them as we always do in order. And then straight after this video, you get segregated seamlessly. You don't even need to do anything. You don't need to click anything. You get transferred over to today's premiere video, which is all about my upcoming skincare line. There's a bit of fangirling. There's me waving my arms frantically in that video because I'm getting a little bit overexcited. But hopefully it'll give you a little bit more context and also give you a little bit of a sneak preview of how you can pre-order and all of that, all mentioned in that video, so hopefully you'll stick around for that. DM13 says, Marcel, be mine. DM13, Marcel is mine. His hands off. Alan says, Purito Centella Serum has some niacinamide and isn't drying. I think this could be actually the solution. For people looking for a Korean brand with niacinamide in it at a lower strength, I think the Purito is such a good buffet serum. And that 5% niacinamide, to die for, the right concentration for dry skin. Tom says, you're a hardcore fan. I know, Tom. We think it's bad. Like, at least for Canadians, it's early in the morning. For us here in the UK, it's kind of in the evening. For anyone in Australia, I should do an Australian specific live that's more in keeping with the Aussie time. Ellen says, so Ellen says, Tom, I'm curious, do you and Rob know each other? So this, I'm happy to cover that question. I think Tom might have answered it already because I'm behind the comments. Me and Tom just met over our mutual love of skincare. Like, it's kind of, I think, the power of the internet and the power of this channel. So Tom was one of the first I think, subscribers to the channel. And one of the first commentators when I was a total dithering, nervous wreck and completely useless on YouTube. Still not saying I'm the best, but I think things have improved since then. Tom was one of the first people to comment on the channel and show me support. And we kind of just got chatting on Instagram and WhatsApp around skincare, and it's just a really good when when you meet someone that is your skin soulmate, where you have basically the same skin type, you like the same things, you can pretty much recommend something to the other person and know they're gonna love it. Tom's like my skin soulmate, so that's how we know. And he very kindly moderates here on the live streams, which I'm eternally grateful for. But I would say, if you're looking for someone that might possibly be even more addicted to the Hylamide Sub-Q skin, Tom's your man. So he's my go-to for Hylamide recommendations. 21 says, hello from the United States, sending lots and lots of love to the US. And I would love when all of this is over and things get back to some semblance of normality, probably next year, but who knows, to do some visits. I love travel, and so I'd love to do some meet and greets, and so we can all kind of meet up as communities in some of the larger locations. That would be my absolute dream. So watch this space. So yeah, Del S says all sunscreen filters are safe. It just depends on whether you like chemical or mineral. And this is it. I think we use the term safe can be a little bit misleading. The safest thing you can do is protect your skin from the sun. If you don't feel comfortable with a chemical sunscreen, I know there are so many people out there that don't. Mineral ones are your friends. I think some of the best mineral ones used to be a bit rubbish. They used to be badly formulated, expensive, and a bit rubbish. There are so many great mineral sunscreens out there. I don't think any of us should be missing out. Ashley says, hey from LA, do I have to wash the Tret off in the morning? Ashley, welcome. Sending lots of love to what I hope is a very sunny LA. No, you don't. Tret has a certain half-life, and then it's gone. It's done its thing and it's moved on, so you don't need to wash it off in the morning. If on the morning, I would recommend, if you don't want to cleanse, and a lot of people out there don't, and I think it's great, especially if you have dry skin, sensitive skin, just splash just splash with some water, maybe do a light tapping, a little bit of massage, that'll get everything moving. You don't need to cleanse. Naisha says, can you use Exglow with retinol? You can, but I'd probably recommend using them in the opposite ends of your routine. So Exglow in the morning, retinol in the evening. There's no reason you can't use them together. I just think because Exglow has a lower pH, I'd just be a little bit on the cautious side, but there's no reason you can't. William makes a very good point here. The Mad About Skin Facebook group has just crossed 1,000 members. Mind blown. I still cannot believe that we're nearly at 40,000 subscribers on the channel. We've got 1,000 people over on the Facebook group, which is the hardcore skincare lunatics, and I say that with so much love. And it's just so great over there. I love that we can actually, I'm just proud to say, because everyone says social media is toxic. You hear so many people, and I think, don't get me wrong, I think it is. So many people are negative about social media because people use it in the wrong way. There's so much negativity out there. I am so proud to say to people when they say, get off social media, it's toxic. It isn't. You can come to the Mad About Skin Facebook group and everything is just so positive. Sharing experiences, sharing skin. It's a non-judgmental thing. People post selfies of them looking at their glowing best and their ratchet worst, and it doesn't matter because we're here to kind of share our ups and downs. I had a ruinously bad breakout a month ago. Took some pictures because I like to do now it's all under control. I like to look back and think, if I feel skin's not looking great, I look back at those pictures and think, no it is. I'm going to post those on the Facebook group because I think a bit of candid, no filter, nothing wrong with that, and I think it just shows that it's a journey, isn't it? What does James Welsh... Sorry, I'm itching my nose because I've got so much cat hair going on. Marcel, thanks. What does James Welsh say? Skincare, something about perfection doesn't exist. And it's so true. Perfection doesn't exist. I just think if we can be the best versions of ourselves, inside and out, that's what skincare's for. Kith says, hello from Cambodia, sending lots and lots of love. What product do you recommend for an oily face? I recommend a good gel cleanser that doesn't leave you stripped and dried, but will just remove that excess oil. And I recommend a really light gel moisturizer. Between that, azelaic acid will be really help to balance everything out. And a very light touch of niacinamide, something like a 5% could help. That would kind of be a really good basic routine for excess oil in the skin. And I think that would work wonders. Particularly when we're talking Cambodia, where it's quite humid. You don't want anything that's going to weigh the skin down, feel like you're wearing a mask. None of those will, and it'll be a great way. But that is a really good question, and I think being able to deliver that in and deal with an oily face in a humid climate is so much more difficult than in a colder climate. So I think getting that under control is a really good thing, and I think those would be a great step to help. Let's have a look. So Son says, do you like Kiss Me Mommy sunscreen from it's I have never heard of that. I like the name. I think that sounds really different. I'll check it up after this. I always watch these lives back the next day. Make a note of anything I've promised. So we'll definitely check those out and see. So Sylviana says, hi Rob, thoughts on Saturday Skin Vitamin C Sleeping Mask? This is a really great dupe for the other one that I really like, and I can't remember what it's called. That brand that I really like, and I can never remember. I can't remember what it's called. I'll leave a comment below. It's a really good dupe for a really expensive brand that I love, and I like the Saturday Skin Vitamin C Sleeping Mask. Yes, I can't remember the name of that brand, but it doesn't matter. It is a really good, affordable product. It's a little bit on the thicker side, so I'd say don't just put it on and sleep with it. Give it 30 minutes to sink in, otherwise your pillow will be a mess. Ellen says, me and Tom should do a skincare video together. I do. When all of this, like I said, when everything gets back a little bit back to normal, I would love to do some like subscriber collaboration-y stuff. And Tom would definitely be one of my go-tos for sure, where we could just fangirl over some skincare and everything like that. I would love to do that. Fruz says, it makes it even more interesting. It's true. Finding the right sunscreen can be interesting. We see it as a chore and like, ugh, it's a nightmare. We can never find the right one. See it as like an exploration. But I would just make sure, I did a whole video on tried and tested ones. There's so many out there to choose from. Just make sure you're getting that protection. Jack says, but once I thought that Marcel's fur was paranormal orbs. I really like a lot of paranormal stuff. So a lot of people, Jack, you're not on your own. If you ever see bits of fluff flying around, lots of people say they're orbs. It's not. It's just Marcel. He is lending himself to the video in a way that only Marcel can, which is with dirt, grime, and fur. So if you ever see an orb in a video, it's just a little bit Marcel joining us in the video. I love the Face Theory Green Tea Rescue Mask. Thank you for your recommendations. Oh, I know quite a lot of people fangirl over that mask. It is so good. I've got a lot of admin. After the barbecue today, I'm going to get in the bath, and I've done so much admin today. I'm going to get in the bath and I'm going to put that green tea mask on and just sit there, block out the world, and it just feels so good on the skin. And you always take it off and feel like, yeah, good skin moment. It's all good. Del S says, who hasn't hit that like button? I want to know. I want to know who hasn't hit that like button. But do not worry. If you haven't yet, now's your chance, because I'm going to take a sip of my tea. We've got another 20 minutes of conversation to go, so keep your questions coming. If you haven't already, smash that like button. That is such good. And someone asked me where I got my mugs from. These were from John Lewis. They actually do still have them, because I smashed one the other day and had to go buy another one. So if you're in the UK and you like a seagull on your mug, John Lewis, really good. Not sponsored. Let's have a look. Francis, thanks Rob. Seems like I'll have to try the Face Theory perfume now. Love a citrusy scent. Yeah, Francis, I genuinely recommend. Be careful, they do like two. It's the original one. And I would say it goes on quite citrusy, quite fresh, quite like orange gravy. And then it kind of just disappears and turns into this like really nice background spa scent. It's different to whatever I've ever smelled. It's totally unisex as well. Like, not that I think, and unisex, wear whatever you like, I always say, but it is one of those genuine ones that doesn't have it too masculine, too feminine, too floral, too deep, it's just one of those genuine, like, really nice scents. I'm a little bit addicted, if you can't tell already. Diego says, recommend a good vitamin C. I would say if you're looking for a pure form vitamin C, go with Geek and Gorgeous C Glow. Fresh batch every week, no oxidization, definitely going to live up to full potency the whole time you have it. If you're looking for a derivative, honestly, reach for the ordinary ascorbyl tetra isopalmitate solution in vitamin F, and I'm pretty sure you guys only asked me that question because you want to hear me try and butcher that pronunciation. Lily says, how often should I use the Paula's Choice salicylic acid? Daily. It's designed to use daily. It's in a slightly higher pH, so it's not as aggressive as some other salicylic acids out there. I think it's absolutely fine for daily use. Some people use it twice a day. I think that's a bit much. I would work up to using it every single day. I want to add powdered vitamin C to my routine, but I'm having trouble mixing it. Even if I only add a tiny amount, it still feels gritty. It will. That's normal. Powdered vitamin C's just will feel gritty. Vitamin C is actually quite difficult to formulate without it having a grittiness. Even some of the pre-formulated ones can. So I would say just really work it. So like really rub it into the palm of your hand and work it in, because the heat that you generate will help a little bit as well. Shima says, what do I think about Axis Y? I don't know. I saw that their sunscreen was pulled from online, so I don't know if that's just coincidence or whether there's something going on with that. So that put me off a little bit, but I've literally no proof that there's anything wrong with that. So I just, when I see it disappear, I'm always like, I'm not sure. Not even out of stock, just disappears. So I was a little bit dubious about that. I like some of their products. I don't like some of their products. They are doing a lot of marketing with influencers at the moment and going quite hard for the brand, and so I sometimes just retreat a little bit when I see them doing a lot of promotion. I think there must be, I don't know, I can't say I have a lot of experience with them, but there's a few things that just not making me want to massively gravitate towards the brand. I've got some here. I have got some skincare from them here, and it's always worked very well for my skin. Very, very good for oily skin. I would say less good for dry skin. Dat says, are you from Australia? I am not. I'm from the north of England. I would love to live in Australia. Actually, no, I don't like creepy crawlers. I don't like spiders, so I probably wouldn't. I'll visit Australia. I don't think I'd like to live there because of the spiders. But no, I am from the UK. That says, and I apologise profusely to anyone that's from Australia. I love Australia, but how you cope with the spider situation, I do not know. I saw a video and I think it put me off spiders even more. But I do really want to visit Australia, and I love the Australian people. I also love the fact that Drag Race is going to Australia. So Drag Race Down Under, the Australian version from RuPaul, is coming on in 2 weeks here in the UK. I honestly cannot tell you how excited I am, because I just think Australia owns drag and how amazing it is. And ever since I first watched Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, it has been my absolute dream to visit Sydney. So I'm super excited for that. Charisse says, what are your thoughts on the brand Good Molecules? I'm thinking I should try their niacinamide. I would say their niacinamide is the best of their products, actually. Good Molecules, I have some experience with. I haven't tried a whole lot of their products. have some experience with, and I've really enjoyed it. I would just say, just be careful with them as a brand. I think they have some good and some bad. The niacinamide, definitely good. They do a moisturiser that's really good. They're affordable. So they're one of those brands you can try out without splurging too much. But niacinamide is definitely my favourite. My friend bought Retinol by Clinique. It's expensive. I think she could do better. I think she could do better too. I would say it's expensive, and I don't think it's the strongest Retinol out there either. It's not bad though. So I would definitely use it up if she can't return it. Definitely use it up. But I would personally just look for something a little higher strength. It's a good introduction retinol. So it's one of those that's low strength. Get you the skin used to the retinol. And then I'd up it a little bit. I'd go for something like one of the ones from The Ordinary if you want to go cheap and cheerful, because they'll do the job. Obviously, I love the Geek and Gorgeous. I love the Paula's Choice Clinical. There's so many out there. I think take it up a notch, because Clinique is a little bougie and it's not the highest strength out there. Chloe says, hi from Lancashire. I'm sending, Lancaster, which is Lancashire, there you go. Pennsylvania. Oh, I was going to get really excited there because I thought it was a fellow Northern UKer. But sending lots of love to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I love that I I love tea. Great. I'm on it at the moment, my love. I totally. I'm full British when it comes to tea. I'm so glad to meet an American that loves tea as much as me. Can azelaic acid be used with any of the BHAs, AHAs, or PHAs? They can. Yeah. So I don't see azelaic acid as an exfoliator. It does a light exfoliation, but it's not designed for that. So you can use it alongside your favourite exfoliating acid. I think it pairs best with lactic acid or polyhydroxy acids. I think using it alongside glycolic can be a little strong. But yeah, you absolutely can. I'm sending lots of love to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, not the one in the north of England. Noah says, what's your thoughts on the Glow Recipe Toner? Overpriced. Glow Recipe, I'm just not a fan of. I don't know. I want to like it because I love the packaging, but I just find it all a little bit fragranced. And I like fragrance in my skincare, but it's all a little bit much. And there's so many different things in there that could be a little bit triggering. I just feel a bit dodgy recommending it to people with, it could risk sensitivity, and for the price, I don't think it's worth it, personally. Franz, so Tom says, you'll love the Face Theory scent. I can't stop smelling stuff. Yeah, I know, Tom, when I literally fangirled so hard over this scent, and I was like, Tom, honestly, just buy it, you'll love it. I did, and agreed. It is definitely worth splurging. And just for those of you that might be new to the channel, we have a code for Face Theory, which is, let me get this right, Mad About Skin 25. That should be really easy. How did I forget that? Mad About Skin 25, all capitals. It's not an affiliate code. I get no coin from it, but you guys get 25% off. So if you're kind of on the fence about the fragrance, use the code, get 25% off. So we're talking about the Retinol again. So she didn't ask and she's never used Retinol before. So in which case, I actually think the Clinique Retinol will be a good starter. It's low strength. It won't be too sensitizing. It's quite hydrating. So I actually think it's not a bad starter. Retinol, I just think you overpaying when, like, the Inculus will do the same thing but for a fraction of the price. But you bought it, she's bought it now. Tell her to enjoy it, and you know, enjoy it, see the benefits, because you will get benefits from it, and then progress to something that's a little bit stronger in time. Georgiana says, what sun cream would you recommend for a 1-year-old baby? I would totally recommend, when it comes to children's skincare, I would always say, this is just my personal preference, and two things, there's 2 prongs to this: sunscreen and keeping out of the sun. I think sometimes we forget that. We kind of think we're indefensible, like we're indestructible when we've got our sunscreen on, but actually the best thing to do is keep out of the sun. And I think obviously with young skin, even more important, I would go for an SPF 50, something from a baby range, because actually some of my favourite sunscreens are from like the baby and toddler ranges that brands do, because they usually minimise any potential irritants in there. They're always fragrance free, and they always have some gorgeous hydration. My absolute favourite is from Sultan, which is a brand here in the UK. You get in Boots, I don't know if you can get it internationally, and they do a kids SPF 50, which is 5-star on the UVA rating, which is also good because you need broad spectrum. Does it all, and I love that. I even use it for myself. It doesn't just have to be for kids. It's so good. It does leave a heavy white cast, but you know what? Your 1-year-old will not care with a heavy white cast. I think it kind of is comforting to when you see that white cast, because you know the protection's there. It's all good. Nicole says, snail mucin. If you have a shellfish allergy, try these products very, very carefully. So this is a really good point. And I asked this on behalf of someone that came up with that same thing. Snail mucin. What happens if you're allergic to snail, shellfish and all of that? Apparently it is not so dissimilar that they can guarantee you won't have an allergy. So do really check that out. I would be totally... And the same with some facial oils. So facial oils are often derived from nuts, and because they're just pressed, they're not actually that far from the original nut. So be super careful if you have any issue with... allergies around that in your skincare. Just be super gentle. I am chronically allergic to milk, but fortunately all lactates and lactic and all of that, which used to be derived from milk, is now synthetically derived, so I'm pretty much good. I've only had 1 reaction in the whole time I've been doing this, so pretty good. Let's have a look. Tamsin said, I thought you was due on later, not now. Oh, well, my bad. Oh, sorry, Tamsin. Yeah, so can be a little confusing. So what we do is we do the live stream. We do the live stream for an hour and a bit, usually. I always let it run over because, you know what, I like to chat. On a Saturday from 6 p.m. UK time, then straight after we have the daily video. Today is all about my upcoming skincare brand, sharing a little bit more gossip with you, some of the pre-order information, kind of where we're at with it. The only thing I can't share is the actual products themselves, because there's a few tweaks left, and then it'll be good to show. So hopefully you'll join me. You don't need to do anything. It just gets redirected straight after this live to that, and we'll talk all things Mad About Skin, the new skincare brand. And I like to put it up a little bit because some people, don't want to do both the live and that, so they could choose. So I set the reminder, put the videos up at the same time so people can choose or do both, whatever your pleasure, guys. And if you can't stay for the next video, just go over there, give it a like, maybe watch a little bit, then you can dip out and watch it later, because obviously this live stream and the video afterwards are always saved on the channel, so you can catch up whenever. Ali says, great video idea, sunscreen for babies. So the only reason I haven't done this, because it would be a great video idea, is I am not a dermatologist. So this is my thing. I think when you're talking about infant skin and protection, it just has to, there's no excuse for anything being even a fraction wrong. And so I don't feel comfortable making those recommendations because there's a lot of pressure, and obviously, I wouldn't want to steer anyone wrong, especially when it comes to something as vitally important as that, which is why I've stayed away from that particular video. It's a great video idea. I just don't feel like I'm the one to present that, if that makes sense. Drew says, also a ceramide video would be divine. Drew, I have my suspicions of who... Drew, I think you're a plant in this, because you always read my mind. I don't know how you do this. Maybe we're like telepathically connected, because in 2 days' time, I have a ceramide video going up. So Drew, you are on the ball again. I'm sure I must leak information to you. I don't know how you always manage it. But yeah, I've got a video on ceramides and the best ceramide products. Cruelty-free, because CeraVe, not my friend, coming up in 2 days' time, because I'm a big fan of ceramides at the moment. Let's have a look and see. So we've got we're talking a little bit of, I've skipped some of the comments, I'm so sorry. This YouTube have kind of changed how this works, and it's got a bit confusing. So we're having a conversation about who we're rooting for in Drag Race US. So I dipped out of Drag Race US because I thought I got a little bit on the catty side and a little bit on the drama-filled side. And so I kind of dipped out and went back to the UK. I've just whacked myself in the face there. Went to the UK Drag Race. And then I thought, UK Drag Race is finished. Let's watch the final. I am Team Rosé only because she's a Scottish queen, so I've kind of got to represent for the UK, and I do think she is fantastic. So I'm a Rosé stan, but I kind of think, controversially, as long as Candy doesn't win, I don't mind, because all the other three are amazing. I ain't Candy. Not my favourite, but you know what? As long as one of the other three wins, I'll be absolutely happy. And I could be swayed a little bit. I think we've got a lot going on here in terms of, I think, I can't call it. Lots of people like Gottmik. I think the looks are good. I don't think the personality is quite there as you get with Rosé. That's controversial. Just put it out there. Holly says, "Hi, I'm from Preston, Lancashire." I got confused. Pennsylvania, Lancashire, UK. So Holly, I'm sending you lots and lots of love to the UK, Lancashire. I'm a Yorkshire lad, but there's no hard feelings. I know the Yorkshire, Lancashire. Over the years we've had a torrid history, but I think that's all water under the bridge now. And I'm sending lots of love to Lancashire. Okashi says, I think it's the skincare turnover that makes you sensitive to UV. UV will just make, yes. So this is a really good point. That's going back to a comment that I didn't miss earlier. So saying about retinol being susceptible to light. So you should never use, the reason we don't use retinol in the morning is because the vitamin A is broken down by light. So you're kind of losing the benefits of it over the day, which is why you apply it in the evening. When people say you should apply it in the evening because it makes your skin more photosensitive, that's true, but it doesn't make any difference because your skin will still be photosensitive in the morning when you wake up. So the idea that you apply it at night because of the photosensitivity is rubbish. You apply it in the night because if you apply it in the morning, the UV rays that you expose your skin to will break it down, and so you just won't get those benefits. But that is a really good point. I think people should not be too worried about their retinol in the evening. And a lot of people say I stop it in summer because the UV ray. No, you don't need to. Just make sure, as long as you're using a broad spectrum, well-tested SPF, you're fine to use your retinol in the summer. Let's have a look. I think overall the Drag Race probably goes to Gottmik. I'm Team Rosé, but clearly I've been outnumbered, so I think the Mad About Skin population has, voted there. So let's have a look. We'll all be watching with our clay masks on. Absolutely. I don't think, I think when we sat watching TV, why have you not? You need to be questioning yourself. If you're sat watching TV, why you haven't got a face mask on? It's a great opportunity to throw on that face mask. And I'm kind of so glad we moved away from sheet masks onto like the application masks. I just think they're so much easier and a lot less fast. So Akashi says, I didn't know Rob was allergic to milk. I've also got the Asian lactose intolerance. So this is a thing I didn't realise until a Japanese friend of mine pointed this out. The reason I've been allergic to milk for just forever. And so eating out was always a nightmare. It's fine now because most restaurants cater for vegans. And so whilst I'm not a vegan, you can get the vegan menu and it's going to be milk free. So just eating out is so easy now. But it used to be a nightmare, except in Japanese and Chinese restaurants where I could eat anything on the menu and didn't have to ask. I never realised, apparently dairy isn't a huge thing, or hasn't traditionally been a huge thing in Asian cultures. And apparently most Asian cultures are intolerant to lactose, so that's why you don't often see it in Asian cuisine, which is why I love Japanese and Chinese cuisine so much, because I can pretty much eat anything and know that it won't have milk in, so it's all good. So all those lactose intolerant people out there, sending you lots of love. Let's see. I've skipped to the end again. Why does YouTube always do this? Now we have 5 more minutes left, so I'm going to keep going with some questions. I am gonna just give a little bit of a skim through to do the most important questions. If I haven't got around to your question, I am so sorry, and what I will do is drop it in the comments section of this video and I'll get back to you straight after this video. So if I missed your question for whatever reason, just drop it in the comments section. I do always reply. If you haven't already, if you could smash that like button, I would love you forever. We're up to 140 likes, which is absolutely amazing. In 4 minutes time, we're going to segue seamlessly. You don't need to do anything. You will be just redirected to today's live premiere, which is on Mad About Skin the skincare brand, my skincare brand. I'll be talking you through some of the launching, giving definitive dates. We're going to be sharing pre-order information, some of your frequently asked questions, all that good stuff. The only thing I can't show you is the actual products itself, because that'll be coming in a Facebook group post that I do in about a week's time. I just need some tweaks. I'm a perfectionist. Just let me have that. Let me have my moment. I'm a perfectionist. I have time for 3 more questions, I reckon. Let's make them quick. So we've got Greg says, Rob's brand will be sold out in seconds and I'll be late just as always. You don't have to worry, because there's going to be a pre-order. So if you're on the Facebook group, you'll be able to pre-order. So that's just a little heads up. I haven't been able to order as much stock as I would ideally love to, because there's obviously the more you order, the more you have to pay up front. So we've had to all bear that in mind, as it is a self-funded project. But there will be plenty to go around, and the lab that I'm working with are so amazing. They have a 4-week turnaround on restocking. So it's not going to be one of those situations where something's out of stock for weeks on end. It's going to be restocked, and so, you know, we'll be able to get that rolling. So I don't think the stock thing will be a problem. I've jinxed that now. Touch wood, it'll be fine. Akashi says, thanks for all you do, Rob. So excited to watch the next video. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining. You know, if I was to say, we peaked at 179 viewers today, which is almost 2 off the absolute record. You guys are so amazing. I love chatting to you every Saturday. It makes my Saturday. I am going to be pressing the button to transfer everyone over to today's video in a short minute. I'm going to do one more question, and it's going to go to Ali that says, I'm totally down for a Mad About Skin drag race watch party. I would be totally up for that. I don't know how to do that, but I would absolutely do that. I would think that would be absolutely great. And then another great video suggestion to end on, which is skincare routine on a budget. Skincare routine from Sephora, Cult Beauty, Douglas. There are so many great drugstore products out there. I always say skincare shouldn't cost the earth. It should be fun. You shouldn't be worried about scrimping on using it because you're worried about the amount and all of that. So I think a video on skincare on a budget would be an absolutely great idea. The only thing I do say is, what is a budget? This is kind of my worry, that what is drugstore to me might not be drugstore to everybody. And so, you know, leave me a comment in the comment section of this video of what we class as drugstore. Are we talking $10 or less, $20 or less? What's my scope? And I will happily pull that video together. Now, guys, I'm going to seamlessly move everyone over to today's video, which is on the launch of my new skincare line. So thank you so much for joining me in today's live, which as always means the world to me. Hopefully you'll join me on that video. If you don't have the chance to stay for the whole thing, leave a like and then you can catch up, because it will be on replay there forever. And this is your final chance before I divert everyone to click that like button if you haven't already. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I love you all so much, and we'll move everyone over to today's video.